I driven you before somewhere?
No. This is the first time.
Right, you find out the traits of these vans. The one-wheel drive. Hello, mate. That's on my side of the road. What are you talking about? Yeah, one-wheel drive with massive torque and a turbo. It just torque steers.
One wheel?
Spins. Yeah, watch.
Oh, yeah?
Just trying to do that across the road, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and old power comes in at 2,000 RPM, so it's a bit of a pig. If you start on a hill, you've no chance of moving. You have to sort of get it through there, the old judder. So you put your foot down.
Jesus.
It just torque steers everywhere.
That's hilarious.
Although the cars back in the UK I used to race, they're all front wheel drive, and normally open diff because it's really hard to roll the front wheel drive diff. And you'd find that whenever you put your foot down, you go rup, rup, so you could overtake without turning the steering wheel. You just torque steer around them. There you go.
Yeah, it's awesome. A bit of fun.
Yeah. But don't worry, I can drive also.
Oh no, that's fine. No, yeah, that's alright.
Yeah, people go like, you ride a bike, but can you drive? I'm like, yeah, I'm not too bad.
Yeah.
Driving that cross cart sort of proved it. Them things are.
That looked like a bit of fun.
The it's hard work. Yeah, especially we had sort of basically dirt tyres on it because they'd done about 2 or 3 rounds on the dirt tyres, but he wanted to wear them out before he tried the Hoosiers, the what do you call it, the proper slicks.
Yeah.
He said to me they are too violent without knowing the cart. The buggy, they're too violent. They grip so much you'll just flip the cart on its head if you don't put so much grip.
Yep.
On corners. He said so. We'll go out with these first, and you get used to how the cart slides around. Then you have to use that slide with the grippy tyres to break traction, otherwise it'll just fucking roll over. So much grip on a corner, it'll roll over. So you have to like snap it round, otherwise it'll grip up and turn you over.
So because I was going to ask you when I saw the video of you driving a car,
yeah,
it wasn't a really super smooth line, you know.
No, it
was like you. Well, now I know you were trying to lose the.
Yeah, we're trying to move it around because he said to me, don't use all 140 horsepower. Keep the RPM down to about between 9 and 12. He said otherwise you get all 130 and the thing will just snap round. So I was trying to short shift to keep the power. Because the power is gear based.
Yeah.
You don't get all the power, everything till you're in top gear. So I was using like 3rd, 4th and 5th, so just like flicking up and down those.
Well, that's how all the new superbikes are being built, like Ducati. They're actually every gear's mapped. So it's, you know, you limit depending on what setting you use.
Yeah.
It electronically maps all the gears to limit the power available.
That's it, otherwise you just lose the back. But yeah, it was good fun. Good fun. It was a handful.
Yep.
But at the end of it, I was only 1 second off his pace. First time in that car, first time at that track in the car. So he said, "Yeah, you're all right." I said, "Yeah, I'm all right." But I was like trying to breathe, and he's like, "Oh, you all right?" I said, "No, I'm knackered, tired, mate. Hard work." 3 laps and I was buggered.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because you'd think, like, if you're used to riding your bike and being, actively moving around your bike for so long, you think that being in a seat, you're strapped into a car, would be a lot less.
It's mental stress. It's mental tiring. Yeah. Because I wasn't bothered. I wasn't like physically like arms tired, but my head was trying to cope. But don't forget, I was doing like 160 k's an hour, like into corners, not knowing how it was going to stop, or if it would stop, or how it stops.
Yeah.
You know, then changing down and trying to feel what it was doing. But it was very much like my old supercart, without with suspension. It handled the same way. It's quite stiff.
Yeah.
So I just thought I figured out. So I tripped in the first corner and I thought, yeah, all right, it does turn. I'm happy now. And then it does brake. I'm happy now. Then second lap I went for it. Third lap I went for it even harder. And then I was out of breath because my brain was going like, nah, we're done.
Well, we got that supercar track up the coast, near the on the Steve Irwin way there.
Yeah.
On the Cloudra side.
The big car track,
Yeah, and well, that's a lot of fun. Except for a guy my weight, doesn't matter how good you are, like lines of, you know, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
The little fellas, they just fly past you because there's got no weight.
Well, there's a thing there. I told you about the guy we met at the shopping centre who's doing the iFly
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Him, his size, he can beat me on a go-kart.
Really?
Like, easy, thrash me completely. Yeah. His size, because like he used to, like I say, his dad was the world championship go-kart. His mum was the world championship go-karter.
Yeah.
He's an Australian championship go-karter, and his dad was asked to drive Formula 1, but he couldn't do it. He drove V8 supercars, the first one to get sponsored by a beer company, Budweiser of all people. But get him in a car, even now, he said, off the line, I've got no chance. But don't forget, when you've got weight on the tyre, you've got more corner grip.
Oh right.
So
yeah.
when he was 100, when I was chasing around with him, I was like 62 kilos. He'd be 110. And on the corners, I just could not keep it on the corners. I'd go in the same speed, brake at the same time. I'd turn, my bike would slide out, my car would slide out. He'd just turn the corner.
Okay.
Yeah. So
well, maybe
once you're rolling, you can't let it slide. It's all turn.
Yeah.
You know, I can make it slide because I can get out of the corner because I'm lighter. But overall, if you're smooth and use all that corner speed, you won't catch it. Seriously, because I was saying, how'd you get out of the corner like that? I said, I can't do it. He says, it's because my fat arse is pushing the tyre in the ground and giving me grip. And I went, oh yeah, weight on the tyre. It's like the wow switch on your aeroplane. The brakes won't activate properly until the full weight's on it. You know, otherwise it just locks up, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, you got that squat switch, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So is it called the wow switch? Weight on wheel switch, isn't it? Yeah, we call it the wow switch.
Squat switch, yeah.
Yeah. So once it's on that, you get nothing because it just lock up. So that's the same thing. Once you've got like your 400, 500 tons on it, hitting on brakes hard, it'll pull up, won't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the wet, you know, you always make sure you don't try and grease it on in the wet. You try and actually make positive contact.
Yeah, and get it
through that initial water, and then.
See, that's the thing. People don't understand that. Like that's to me that I know that.
Yeah.
When you talk to people, oh no, it's wet. You've got to go nice and easy. No, it aquaplane's on the top.
Yeah, you need to bang through that layer and get the grip. Yeah.
And people say like, oh, what? Are you going to go, mate? No, you're not. Are you? Okay, I will. People say like people who don't. That's pure science.
Yeah.
You know, why grease it on when you got no traction for 300 meters? When you get it through it, you got traction straight away. Like people, to me, that's amazing. I love it.
I was at a they do seminars. Boeing go around and they take you to different seminars, and you know they came over to the Middle East and they ran a seminar at the company I was working for.
Yeah.
And we had the chief technical pilot of the 777, and he was the guy that actually put it all together right at the start.
Yeah.
So he put together the quick reference handbook and all the procedures. They developed all the procedures.
Yeah.
And his knowledge of, oh look at this.
Hey.
There we go.
When the sun breaks through, mate, you're in for a good day. Even if it's damp, it's still grippy.
Yeah.
I don't think. Sorry to interrupt you. Worrell View. I've been watching Worrell View's BOM, not the city.
Oh,
it's
right.
always different.
Oh, really?
Because Worrell View's out in the country,
Yep.
and around it, all the mountains, all the dividing range takes up. It's coming from the dividing range side. It takes all the water out, and then you get that trough until you get a bit more raised country, and then you get it building again. You know yourself, don't you? So it's in the lull, it's in the valley.
Right.
So it gets rain, but it doesn't get a lot of rain.
Oh, good.
I went there once. The rain stopped at the front gate.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Right along the highway, and got there dry.
Wow.
I was like, thank you, Lord.
Yeah. No, this guy, man, to listen to him talk about just basic piloting.
Yeah.
He said, you know, I never forget him saying, you know, he said, you know, I sit on these airliners, and I sit on these, you know, on a plane as a passenger, like everyone else does.
Yeah.
And every time you land, you get that greasy landing. Everyone claps. I just sit there going, that's unimpressive.
Yeah.
Because he's just not doing what we designed it to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so here we go. The reason I led you to that conversation, is because it translates to the motorbike in the wet. Now think about that.
To get your wheel down.
Get that contact patch. Don't hurry about. Get a contact patch.
Yep.
Just like you said, once you've been to Andy's before, he tells you about keeping that contact patch pressed, on the front tyre.
Yep.
So once you've got that in the wet, if you decide to I'm not so sure, you'll lose it straight away, and it can't get back to that contact patch without being forced into it. So there's your first wet weather. You've got to make sure you keep that constant pressure on the front tyre, and you will not lose the front.
Okay.
See, that was a nice little segue. That worked out really well. But getting through it, if you're too hurry in the wet, you will crash because you're not breaking through that what do you call it? What's the layer called? The that layer, the surface tension layer.
Viscous layer.
Yeah, something like that. You're not getting through that. You see?
Yeah.
Because air pressure around it's making it all, water self levels, right? But the air pressure around it's also equal, so it flattens it out so it's equal across, the top. You get divots and holes and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's flat. Once you break through it, you're free. So any divot or hole, your tyre's still there.
Well, it's going to be fun today.
You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it because you'll have to ride smooth on a bike. You're going to go, I don't like this at first. Track, I don't like this track at first. But it shows up. That's why Anthony says small bikes, big guys on a small bike on a small track shows up every flaw you've got straight away. It just does.
Should I be embarrassed now?
No, not at all. Because if you're embarrassed, you wouldn't go somewhere to get pointed out to you, would you?
No.
You're going there to learn.
Yeah, well, that's the whole deal. It's going to be fun. I really look forward to it because when I've seen, been there with these students in the past and watched.
Yeah.
It's and I've seen them on the track now. So, and they're all fast.
Faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way about faster than me. I roll. It's going to be interesting to try and do it myself.
I've seen it from the very beginning. And we've got video evidence on, like on the computer and stuff. So I'll know when you come away from this, I'll know what you've learned because obviously I've been there when you've been learning it.
Yeah.
And I'll see how you apply it. But yeah, you're going to do some thinking today. But don't overthink it. Just do it. The way to ride a bike is to just ride it, and you find out what works and what doesn't work. Number one rule of riding a bike in the wet, you have to trust the front. When you're dry, you trust the front, but in the wet, you have to trust the front. And it's hard because you think, I'm going to crash. But you make yourself crash by doing something weird on the front. If that front has front end grip, constantly pushed down, not being messed around with, you've got heaps of grip.
Well, one of those flaws that you identified last time was not getting the right wrist.
Yeah.
And getting jammed up.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of trying to do that, and I tell you what, when it works really nicely, and when it doesn't work,
you go, oh,
man, what you do with that?
Yeah.
I was around home, I was right at the end of the ride the other day, and I came around the corner. I tried to get the right, and I got the twisty, and it was all interesting.
Yeah. Do you know what I've found myself doing recently? Is not concentrating, and it's making me fuck up a lot. Like now I ride a bike unconsciously. I just ride around la thinking about other things like that, and I just like you say you drive a car to work, you go, how the fuck did I get to work?
Yeah.
Well, I do that on a bike. Even though I'm scanning and not looking, but I'm starting getting to the point where I'm getting complacent. I'm like la. I look like that. Next thing I'm on the white line, thinking, what the fuck am I doing over here? Because I don't have the apprehension about something going wrong anymore because I know I'm comfortable with the situation. But now I'm too comfortable, and it's making me mess up. You got the shower coming through?
No, this is the shower going through. I think for me that's a lucky thing with the bike because when I go riding on the bike, I'm very. There's always something to work on, I'm very cautious, always something to work on. Simply because I haven't done it my whole life. So, well, not on the road anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, just I'm actually like more excited than you are. Looking forward to what's going on, just to see how you work. But you'll get on that bike, you're going to go, hey, what's the smallest bike you've ridden so far?
A road bike, smallest road bike, my bike.
Have you ridden a push bike recently?
Yeah, I
A small push bike, not one size for you, a small one, like a BMX.
Oh God, no!
It's going to feel like a BMX to you.
Oh God, no!
Yeah, they're that twitchy. So you need.
I thought my road bike was twitchy. The first time I've been on it in years.
You're going to go, where is it?
And I was just like riding along and going, wow.
Yeah, you think your bikes, these are twitchy, but it's because you can't be on the front. With these, you've got to be moving, you've got to be flowing forward, right?
But
and
this
all your
track's got
inputs.
hairpins.
Yep. So what it is, you've got to carry the speed through the hairpin, otherwise it just falls over. It just goes doink and falls over because it's got no mass in it to keep it up. The wheels weigh nothing, you know what I mean? The bike itself weighs about 140 kilos.
So like flying an ultralight.
Yeah, you've got to keep it moving forward, otherwise in ultralight, if you backed off into a headwind, you'd go like meh.
Well, the funny thing is, that's really funny. You can fly backwards.
Yeah, I've flown at 172 backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a good idea.
No.
Well, especially at like 100 feet.
Well, backwards over the ground.
Over the ground, yeah. But yeah, not good at 100 feet. Don't recommend that one. If the wind goes, you go. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, it's an experience for you. It'll feel like, what the fuck am I sat on? But it's all about, you've got to keep moving forward. You've got to be really, really smooth. I mean, like really smooth. But these bikes have grip. So if you trust the grip, you'll go around every corner.
Well, mate, I've been complaining about fitting on my bike as an excuse to get a bigger bike. And now I'm going to get onto this thing.
But it shows up every single thing, everything you do. Even if you hit the brakes too hard, it dives. We can see it like physically go brr. But if you get on it and off it, it goes like doing, doing, doing. You can see it bouncing like that. It shows up every little flaw. And imagine riding the little Ovale that he's got. That little Ovale.
That's an awesome little thing.
I had the same thing. I rode one of those for the championship, and I rode a bigger one. It was mine.
Yeah.
They show up. If you sneeze, the bike does something.
Wow.
But you have to ride them flat out. Otherwise, if we fall, it just falls over. You go there and doink.
Well, it's going to be an experience.
Yeah, it's you're gonna love. Either way, you're gonna love it. Even if it's pissing down, you're gonna love it.
But it's going to be, today's really about just a general overview, isn't it? That,
Well, I'm going to mention a few things to him. I'll let him assess you first.
Yeah.
And then while you're doing something, I'll say he needs to work on this. Well, we'll both agree anyway. We'll say like he needs this.
Yeah.
But what I will say to you, is, I'll guarantee you say you're not being smooth, because no one can unless they've ridden one before. So if you try and be smooth straight away, not fast, he'll go, oh, that's pretty smooth.
Okay.
And he'll move away from that and get you onto something else.
Right. Okay.
So all smooth, everything's smooth. Smooth as you can get it, yeah. If you have to short shift. If it goes like hardly moves, but the bike stays smooth, he'll notice that. I've got a video to show you of Jonathan Ray in front of a friend of mine at a circuit, and you watch how smooth all the top level riders are. You look at him, you go like, I don't know how he's moving on that bike without moving. It's like spreading butter. His arse is like butter on the seat. It's like it's like an ice skate on the seat. And that you can tell straight away. You see a guy in the corner like that, you go, that guy's a pro. Because he's not moving, but he moves. You know what I mean? You look at him, you go, you can't see him moving, but suddenly he's moved. And you're like, how did he get over there?
Yeah.
From side to side. And it's just like, if you were to have the perfect toboggan run at the Olympics, like like that.
Right.
Nothing's happening, but everything's happening.
Right.
That's hard to explain, but when you see it, if I can pull it up today when you're having a chat or something, I'll show you. But it's just, That's what I tried to be like, but I'm getting worse because my legs are getting so sore. I've got to jump across the seat now. I can't do the slide bit anymore because my legs hurt too much.
You try being my way.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard. When you're bigger you are, the harder it is. On a small bike, it will show up.
No.
Look at the sky, mate. Come
It's
on
lifting. It's going to look at this. It's dry now.
Yeah.
Like the road. That's perfect.
now. And it's
Cool.
not, it won't be hot as well today.
Yeah, cool. Because that will be nice. Because I've got
Heat-
so many freaking layers on.
Heat will drain you.
Yeah, so many layers.
What do you think of the old van, eh? Not bad, is it? It needs a wheel bearing. The back I can hear that knocking away, but I haven't got that ordered yet. But
Yeah, but it does the job
I paid 13 grand for this.
That's awesome.
13? Yeah, 13.
for
Yeah.
one-wheel drive.
One wheel, yeah.
Imagine if you would have paid 26, you could have had two-wheel drive.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
That's awesome.
One of my friends in the UK said get a Scudo because of all the vans like up there with Toyota, apart from certain things like the air conditioning, but that's adult stuff. He said because they're really reliable. Long as 147,000 get the cam belt done. That's it. That's all you do with these. And he's done 141,000. We're doing 5 litres to 100 k's. 4.1.
See, that's brilliant because even my car doesn't do that. My car's at 6.1 or 6.2.
Yeah, this is a what do you call it? A range is 1,300 k's for a full tank if you're on the cruise.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good.
Yep. I've done 904 k's on a full tank. That's through town driving.
Through town.
Through town to work and back. Yeah. Yeah, they've got like a van's idea. I know your missus doesn't like the idea of a van, but
She's not. I think it's practical.
well, everybody who I know who has kids with like back in the UK, everyone has a van because you've got kids and fucking non sort of shit to do.
Yeah.
You know, you've got multi-van, like take the seats out, whatever. But if you've got motorbikes, a hobby, or surfing, or anything, a recreation outside, a van. Because you've got kids, you throw in the back of the van, dad drives the van, mum drives the car there with the kids in. You know what I mean? So you're not all crammed into the back of the car, you know what I mean, when you go somewhere. Because they used to go like, Dad, I got it in my ear, this and the Pajero. I said, right, I'm getting a van. Everything in the back of the van. I drive the van with my oldest son. I'm in there driving along with the beer, you know. All that stuff. You know, when mum drives the Pajero with the other kids in. It's fucking, they're all happy, they've got plenty of space.
Nice.
They're not like, is it my ribs again? Oh, fuck.
I'm glad I don't have that. Just one child. That's enough. It's fine.
The only thing with this car is once you get a hill in 6, it goes brrrr. Because we're like, just doesn't like pulling. Wait,
It's only driving with one wheel, mate.
One
Give
wheel
it a-
drive, mate.
Give it a break.
yeah, 1-wheel drive. I got stuck in Toowong shopping centre. Went up the hill coming out, it's a big steep one. And someone stopped, it was wet, I couldn't move forward. It was like, brrrr, brrrr. I was like, oh, you're fucking joking. Everyone's beeping me. So I know a trick back in the day with open diff. If you spin up and put your foot on the brake a little bit, it makes them both bite.
Yeah.
Because the thing was spinning, so I did that. With the smoke pouring out the back and shit. Oh, fucking dickhead, what are you doing? I'm trying to move.
Well, you know, I drove that semi-trailer for a year,
Yeah,
right? And the funny thing was, if you ever, because you had to go into a lot of properties
Yeah.
and deliver, whether it was soil or sawdust
Yeah.
or bark or whatever, and you get in a position where you'd be on a slope with a semi-trailer, and it's
Yeah.
like you're on grass and that because of paddock.
Yeah.
And you get rid of your load, you dump your load out,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you try to drive off and you had no weight on the wheels.
Yeah.
So it just spun
It's fun. Yeah.
and you couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Help.
And I was lucky I got away with it. I just got away with it. But the guy next to me didn't get away with it. We had to call the tractor out with the chain.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like I feel sorry with the skip drivers. You know the skip drivers?
Yeah.
They get stuck all the time because you've got to put it on the dirt. You have to reverse onto the dirt to get it.
Yes.
And then you take the weight off, you know, and then they're going like, you know, stuck. Or when they come back to lift it up, the back end sinks into the dirt. Then they've got a ridge to climb out of. You can't get out of it.
They can't get out of
Well,
it.
nice business. Mailbag building firm. They had skips, and they used to like rent the skip, if you know what I mean. Hire the skip. They self-drove them. It was cheaper that way, and every time it'd be like skip stuck. Dad'd get me from home, drive me down there. I jump in the skip, the truck. He'd get the dumper truck. Here. It's a front loader. You see those, the middle's articulated in the middle. You see those sort of things?
Yeah.
So you on that, tie onto that. He'd drive forward. I'd be fucking trying to drive out.
Like a Moxie type thing.
Yeah. The middle sort of
the middle
articulates. You sit on the back end, and the front is the tipper bit. You know, the loader.
Yeah.
They call it dumpers back in the UK.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'd try to pull me out with that, and then and then they go, "You've ruined my lawn," and oh, you're like, fucking hell. You know, the first thing I drove on my own was a semi-trailer, truck and trailer. Yeah.
Really?
I was on my own. I was about 9 or 10, and I was sat right at the front, trying to push the clutch down, trying to get first gear. But Dad was trying to drag me out. It stopped in the main turning area, which had been dug out. It's all dirt been dug out, and it poured down with rain. It was like that deep in rain, and it dug a hole and sat down, so he tried to pull me out. I remember Dad saying, "When you hit the brakes, son, be real gentle." I was sat in front of the seat with the steering wheel like this. I moved forward, hit the brakes, I went fucking straight to there, because the cab did that. I went straight in the front. But Dad just saw my arse go against. "You alright, son?" The thing's trying to crawl forward. He said, Stop. I jumped on the brakes and stalled it.
That's cold.
Yeah, fuck, I just went like, no problem, stomp, whee! My fucking head was in the corner of the dash there. It was fucking funny. I told you, son. When they were laden, the sort of that sort of weight balance switch, it's just set to normal. But even so, when you hit the brakes on an Arctic, they fucking stop, don't they?
Yeah,
they stop.
When they're light, they really stop. Yeah.
Especially when you do it. I'm only doing like 5 or 10 k's an hour. It went fucking. Come on, dude.
That was a bit rude.
Yeah, well, he's got a job to do.
Yeah, I know.
He's got concrete. He's got concrete in there. You know, I'm always pretty cool with that. If they're doing a job, if they're unladen, you know, like fucking hell, man. All right, you want to get back for your next job, but shit.
Oh man, well you know you because you need a head of steam. Like the truck I had, it was it was B double rated, but when the truck, when you're sitting at 43 ton, you know, it really hard to. You got to get a head of steam, and you just can't slow down.
Yeah, you should mention if I'm on the freeway and we're all doing like 90 or 100 or whatever, and the truck's coming up my arse, I'm gonna have its way because I know if it loses its head of steam, then it's gonna burn and try and get it again.
And once you start going back down the gears, you just keep going back down the gears. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, because by the time you change, you've already lost. You lost again. Yeah.
Sunshine.
Getting closer, mate.
There we go, sunshine.
Look at that beautiful sky, mate, and we're going right over there.
Let's hope it stays beautiful.
I think it did say easing, didn't it?
It did say easing this afternoon. So riding home tonight should be no problem because it'll be dry.
Well, not for a fact. If you can see those hills there, it's pretty good because that's virtually where we're going to be.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Like I say, out here, the hills on the side takes all the moisture out, then it comes nice, and it does that way, it starts to build again.
Okay.
I came in here once to get some fuel when I was going to Mini Modo with Mila, and I wanted to video my Mercedes, the noise of the V8.
Yeah.
So I put the camera on the back of the bike on the trailer, came out of here, and I just fucking stomped it. Leaving black lines up to the mirror as a cop car coming over the bridge. I was like, well, there's smoky rear tyres and a trailer and a bike on it and a camera on the roof. I thought, I'm going to get a pull for definite here.
Did he pull you up?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh
So
man, that's lucky.
it looked, when up here, it sort of, when I pulled into Willowbank, as it went past, it sort of looked in. But he thought, it can't be them, because it's got a bike on the back with a trailer, you know, the Mercedes didn't look too pimped out or anything. He thought, it must be a car in front, something like that, because it looked at me like, and I was like,
Sir.
me being old too, you know what I mean?
Please allow me to call you sir.
Yeah, but I stomped it. Like, I gave it the whole 450 horsepower off the line. It's like, I looked at it, I'm like, oh fuck. And Mila's like, are they coming? I'm like, well, they're behind us. And I, I said, wind the windows up a little bit, you know, just the music,
Well, I mean, if you weren't speeding.
Well, it definitely was.
Oh,
I was doing about 140 with the rear wheels were anyway.
Well, the rear wheels might have been, but you may not have been.
No, but it was the amount of smoke left behind.
That's brilliant.
But I think the smoke probably obstructed the view in front.
Yes.
It looked like I was driving through it, perhaps. I thought, oh, somebody in front. Obviously, it was close. Of all the times I come out of there, just give it a foot. I give it one big bootful, make it sound cool for the camera.
Well, you know, all the Honda cars now, those 1.5 litre engines, right?
Yeah.
They're just all small 1.5 litre engines. And I tell you, you can put your foot down there, you can make a hell of a lot of noise and there ain't too much happening.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, it's all good, thanks. Yeah.
Just waiting for me busy here, what's going on? Pretty clear. Camping all there, beautiful.
It's those, you know, it's the British backpackers and they get in those vans, you know.
Wicked vans.
Oh yeah. I mean, they are wicked like that. No one should drive those vans.
So what are you thinking about?
Emily's just over here, isn't it?
Over there, yeah.
Just there, yeah.
Yeah. So what are you thinking about today? What's your goals for today?
You know, I think more than anything, I think it'll be good to just to work on what we've been working on in the road, but being able to be a little bit more extreme.
Yeah, today's a good day for you to push.
Yeah, and I just want to, I think, just get technically, just improve myself technically, because I want to look like, you know, like I'd like to look decent on a bike, you know. Like I'm never going to be a MotoGP rider, not at my height and weight, but just want to. And you know what? If it's a first step to track riding as well, you know, learn a little bit about lines, about you know, I'd really like to. I would like to, you know, get to a stage in the future where, you know, have a bit of fun under braking, sort of back it in under braking, sort of things like that, and then, you know, come out of a corner, you know, a little sideways. You know, just have fun. You know what I mean? So I suppose bike control is you're having a really good bike control.
Yeah, okay. The bike control, a lot of it. Well, yeah. Let's say if you were at a level where you knew how to do stuff, you know, like I'm not saying a level like mine. I don't know how to do a lot of stuff. But if you're at a level where you're confident, you can like get on a bike and ride it without thinking about it. You know, put down decent lap time without thinking about it. You know what I mean? That's, I'd say, 40% of what you need to be able to slide a bike around. It's knowing the bike. Your skills will get you out of trouble, you know, on a bike you don't know, and let you push it and find out what it's doing. But be able to slide it, like me on the R7, I do really slide the bike into corners, only because I know that bike.
Yeah.
And I know when it's gone wrong, how it went wrong, because I did too much of something, you know, or not enough of something else. With the skill level, if you slide one bike in a certain technique, you do it in any bike. But to do it like for fun and like smile about it and like have the confidence to do it like me in the hills, slide the bike in, you need to know the bike.
Yeah, and I think also getting the positions, you know, making sure I'm in the right position at the right part of the track.
Yeah.
You know, getting myself ready early. You know, I think technically I'd just like to I don't really know how to explain it, apart from to say, become technically more proficient.
Yeah. No, but once you're technically proficient, then you can ride any bike.
Yeah.
It's just you're actually trying to learn everything at a very accelerated rate. Like what we've done. How long have you been coaching now? Is it like 6 months? Is it?
Yes, it's just that I think October or November last year, so we're nearly coming up a year. But then we had that big break over Christmas because I was away working, so we didn't ride for about 2 or 3 months over Christmas, last Christmas.
So you've gone from getting a bike to riding a bike on the road. Now you've been going to be lessons with a ex-MotoGP racer, and then to the track. That's like in the space. Let's say it takes another 6 months, right? Which you won't do.
Yeah.
Another 6 months to get you on the track and proficient. That's only 18 months of riding a bike, and then that's a lot in one go. So don't be too hard on yourself about needing to get it done, because it takes a lot longer than you think.
Just the little steps. Like you can't do everything at once. True, but you do try to do everything at once. Like you do. You can't help it.
Yeah.
But then you get in your own way. You start tripping over yourself. Like last time, when I came back to you and I wasn't moving my body enough, but I was doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Overcompensating with other stuff.
Yeah. It's I think so. From when I first saw you ride to how you ride now, today might show a few more flaws, but it'd be difficult to do these things.
So,
But there'll be a difference. I can tell. There's already a difference from when we first started. But what you'll learn here on this little track will be hard to translate to a big track. You have to think about it.
Right.
Because it's a bit different on a small track and a small bike. You haven't got those forces keeping it upright.
Yeah.
But it will help you on the slower corners on a big bike.
Okay.
And also when you go to Lakeside, what you'll learn here, I think you might be thinking about too much while you're doing it and not learning the track.
Yeah.
So what you learn here, practice on your bike, when you go for rides or whatever.
Yeah.
When you go to Lakeside, forget everything you've got in your head and learn the track first before you try to employ techniques you learn from here.
Right.
Otherwise your brain's just doing too much.
Yeah.
And Lakeside can bite you in the ass really hard. So
Actually,
just ride it like around the road.
A guy I work with, his friend was really badly injured at Lakeside. So he said, "Oh, don't go to Lakeside." I go, "No, it's all right. Like lots of people go there."
Yeah. I'll tell you why they get injured, because it's the wrong line. When you go to Lakeside, you ride a line that keeps you safe.
Yeah.
You don't ride a line that's fast.
Right.
If you're well, you can do if you've got financials and the support home. If you get injured, you can look after yourself.
Yeah.
When I go to Lakeside, I've never crashed at Lakeside. I've run off, never crashed. Every other track everywhere else I've crashed, right?
Okay.
If you go to Lakeside, I'm going to go for 8/10.
Well, I'm hoping for not too many crashes today.
Oh, you'll be fine. I think if you do crash, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
It'll be like a panic moment for you.
Yeah.
So I think because of what's in your mind, you won't go 10/10 anyway, because strange bike, strange circuit, it's going to feel real weird.
Yeah, and it's a little bit wet.
Yeah, the dampness will soon go. It dries pretty quick, but it's going to be a lot going on in your head. So it's like riding somebody else's bike on the track. Yeah, I'll go fast, but you don't go 10/10, you go 7/10. But you're still trying to learn that bike. But whatever happens today, you're going to have fun.
Yeah.
First of all, you say, it's a bit weird riding these bikes, I feel like they're going to fall over. There we go, yeah. Go faster, and it won't feel like it's going to fall over. So is your wife all excited for you?
Well, no, she's actually pleased. Because she doesn't mind. She doesn't want me wasting money on useless things like exhaust systems and that. She'd much prefer me to spend the money on lessons and improving myself and becoming safer on the bike. Because even I can tell. I watched the other day, because I'm downloading all of those little SD cards.
Yeah.
And I got onto, and I found one of the folders that I lost, and it was one of the first times we rode.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time you raced it. For God's sake, will you slow down, man? You're scaring me. Like,
yeah.
and then I looked
Easy.
at myself
Yeah.
and I'm going, oh my God, I'm scaring myself watching me.
Yeah.
It was really not good.
I didn't say it's good. I said like just take it easy for the
And I was going, wow, you know, that like you can see the big difference. And then you watch the latest one where it was just easy and flowing, and you sort of go, well, that looks ridiculously easy. The first day looked like, you know, it was.
I'd say the first time I rode it, I was like, ooh, a little bit too quick for his own doing here. So that's why I said just slow down a little bit, no point.
Yeah.
Then, but watching you like on the road, you're like this.
Yeah, all over the shop.
But now you're like more like, yeah, I got that.
Flowing.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah. But if I show you that video of Jonathan Ray on the track, you look at him, you go like, he's doing nothing. He's not even moving, but somehow he's moving. It's weird to explain. Even I go like, damn, that is like butter.
But those videos are fun when you watch what you were like, and then watch.
That's why
what
video people say, you think you can ride, right? This is you now, right?
Yeah.
You're right now. You watch, oh, that's all right. You go, that's not bad, yeah. And then a year later, you go like, look at you now. You go, oh yeah, it's one. I said, well, look back, and you go like, oh shit, was that me? I was like,
that's it.
That was you, mate. That was
it.
you
And you
almost
look like
dying.
you're on a knife edge.
Yeah, you was almost dying every corner there. Like, whoa. I went in the hills the other weekend just for a ride up.
Yeah.
One of the guys that you've met there before, the guy that chats to me, whatever. He was at the servo. I said, "Are you riding up?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Can I ride behind you?" And like, he goes, "I know you to coach or whatever." I said, "Can I ride behind you?" And like, he goes, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I've got a sore hip." I said, "Don't worry about it, just ride it." And within a minute, I pulled him over and said, "Mate, sit on the bike straight." You're not sat on the bike straight. He was sat to the right hand side. He said, "He was up here." I said, like, when you like turning right, don't you? He goes, yeah. I said, well, turn left. I find it really awkward. I said, because you're turning left, and the bike's trying to turn right still. He sat on the bike, about K2, and he pulls over, he goes, "Thank you. No one's ever told me that before. Now I can turn left." It was sat 1 inch to one side.
Wow.
He said, "It hurts my back a little bit." I said, "Well, get yourself as centered as possible, where it's not hurting, and then try and work, because your back's not used to being in that position anymore." I have to literally sometimes when I sit on the lounge, sit up and sit down again, otherwise I do that because my spine curves like that at the bottom.
Okay.
So I make myself sit up again and sit up and I push myself back in the seat. Even then my back hurt down there. And I'm like, yeah, it's got to sit straight, because the more you sit like that, the more your back sits like that. Your muscles get relaxed on one side and you end up sitting like that. Yeah.
Well, look at the job we've got. We sit for 6-7 hours.
Yeah.
And you have to make yourself get out of the seat sometimes.
Yeah.
And they're the worst seat. Everyone knows a Boeing pilot because all the chiropractors.
I've been in one. Does yours still go up and back, does it?
What's it? Yeah, around.
Yeah, you go like get out of the way, otherwise you go fucking my fucking head on those switches.
Oh man, getting in there. There's this one guard actually getting in there, and all of us have a scar there.
Yeah.
There's one guard that sits on the overhead, and as you get in, you hit it all the time, and you just go, dog.
Another way. So everybody's 747 pilot's got a scar on the head.
Every 74 pilot's got a scar there because you just hit it all the time.
Yeah, I know the one.
Jesus, unbelievable.
Yeah, the switch guard. Oh yeah. Remember I got into that A320. Can't think whether it was Series 1 or whatever you call it. I got in there. I sat down in the Palace and I went, "What's these TVs?" Yeah, it's like,
that's it.
Fucking hell, and a little joystick. I'm like, is that it?
I know.
Nothing
and they got the meal table and
the footrest, the laptop table. I'm like,
it's really well designed.
I was like, fuck, it's nice.
Yeah.
And you get in the seat without killing yourself.
Well, do you know what? Because I was being a Boeing pilot, all the time through. I started on the 777, went the 78, now the 74.
Yeah.
And it's still all,
analog.
Yeah. And it's like, don't get me wrong, the 78's a really nice piece of kit. But when you look at an Airbus with just a stick, everything's open, the tray table.
It's so nice.
It's so civilised.
It's like being inside a Citroen. You know the old Citroens?
I've never been in a Citroen.
It's just everything's squared off and it's all like, It reminds me of a Citroen. Or have you ever flown a Tobago?
Tobago, no.
Oh no, they're just like they're like the Citroen. It's just basically everything's squared off,
Right.
everything's right, it's all flush.
Yeah.
But just nice. Everything's just nice.
Yeah.
It's all there. But
Nice.
when I saw nothing here, I'm like, how the fuck do you fly it? What you press that button there, set your head in, and just open and close the throttles, and off you go, man. That's it.
Well, the Airbus Accord's just a D10.
Yeah.
There you go. And you just go, do you guys do anything? No.
We've got a laptop table and footrest, and we don't do too much, do they? But the first time
Well,
we went
apparently we're reliably told they can support 55 kilos.
that's a flight bag then.
Reliably sourced,
Yeah.
which is pretty decent.
Yeah. It's alright. Well, yeah, I used to do, what was it? I was working on nose doing, I was doing front nose gear, doing a nose gear on nose. That's what I was doing, a nose gear. I was looking up inside, and it was like putting your pins in to lock it all out, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it reminds me of like, do you remember the old radio, you took the back off and get those valves and stuff like that? That's 747 for me, like the old valves and the wires. You get in there, it's like, beep, 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 there's like lights flashing and like diodes everywhere. You're like, what the fucking hell is this shit? Yeah, back in the day. Well, let's go
But I tell you what, when you get back to the older 7.4 and you start flying that, when it's heavy, oh god, it's beautiful to fly.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, it just
bounces around, just glides straight through?
when it's heavy, it's just beautiful
mass,
way, and it's so well balanced on the controls. It just, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's a pure delight to fly heavy. I hate flying at light. I don't know why. I seem to get all the light sectors. I don't know why.
Does it like bounce around too much?
Yeah, and it's it bounces around, and it's just it's not it doesn't like it. It's designed to be flown heavy.
Yeah, what is it,
Yeah.
500 ton all up or something, isn't it?
What'll be 395, 394, 625. I think is max takeoff weight
Wow.
for the 400 freighter.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, first
we've got
time.
about 3 different types. So you got to.
Yeah. I remember I sat my daughter in the engine of one of those once. So I sat her in the engine, she's just a little pea.
Yeah, that's just
Fucking,
yeah.
she's got a red jacket on, it's just a little face.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're massive, aren't they?
They are. Well, I only reach, even at 6.3, I only just reach halfway up the triple engine.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's massive. It's a monster. It's the size of a 737 fuselage.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah.
It is. It's quite interesting. It's quite, when you see them next to each other, you can't believe it. When you're sitting in a 737, you go, wow. Anyway.
Yeah,
enough
they're a
about
big
airplanes.
thing. Yeah. Oh, look, see it's pulled all the moisture out there. It's coming this way, is it that way? It pulls all the moisture out on the hills and drops and stays dry here.
Well, let's hope it stays dry.
That's the way it works,
It doesn't
yeah.
look too wet. It only
No.
looks slightly damp.
You get like this dry area here, and it gets wetter over there. This sort of stays dry.
Well, let's hope it stays there.
Yeah, because it pulls it all out there. If it comes that way, it pulls it all out over there as well. Let's give this guy some warning behind me. He's driving his big rig. I'm turning right in a minute. I'll try and get ahead a little bit, so give him some time. Watch out for Westies sign.
That's right, because it's right there in the middle, isn't
Yeah,
it?
put it right up. That guy's got plenty of room behind me. No, that's all right.
Oh, yeah, it'll be good.
I didn't want to hold him up because he won't be happy. We are here.
It's the next one.
Yeah.
That indicate.
Yeah, I'll let him. I'm gonna try and sneak
Because
in.
you got a semi coming the other
I'm
way
gonna
too.
try and sneak in before we get there. I reckon we'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Perfect.
Closed.
Gates open. We'll be out with the bikes.